And today we got a superstar lady. Ladies, guys as well. We got an amazing lady. She's just a dear friend. I tell you what, if you have not heard from her, go get your notepad, your journal, and get ready to take some notes. Let me describe Miss Angela Solomon. She is amazing. She's a mother of 3 boys, like stair steps. Yeah, 3 boys. She's a real estate developer. She's also a lawyer. A lawyer. That's right. She got a law degree. She's also a regional vice president, platinum in her own right. She's an entrepreneur. She's the wife of my dear friend, Mr. Oren Solomon, who is a senior vice president. Listen to what I'm saying. She is a regional vice president, platinum in her own right. Without further ado, she's also an author. Oh my God. Her list goes on and on and on. But anyway, a community leader and also a philanthropist. So thank you for all she does. Can we show her some love before we get on the call? The great regional vice president, Miss Angela Solomon.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. I know this is an international call. You could be joining us from wherever you are in the world. So good day to you wherever you are. First, I want to thank Mr. Thomas for just being an awesome and phenomenal leader. I'm telling you, of all the people I know in ACN, he is one of the most caring, one of the most biggest hearts, which is evidenced by the fact that he arranges these calls for you, because he wants everybody to win. He really cares about his people and his group and everybody, even outside of his group. He's just a phenomenal leader, a phenomenal person, one of my favorite mentors who's always accessible. So I just want to thank you, Mr. Thomas, just for being you and for your leadership. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning to everyone on the call. I see so many beautiful faces. Wow, it's great to see you. And I am just so excited after this Game On event weekend. It was so exciting and so phenomenal. There are so many messages and themes that I took away from the weekend. I'm going to just take one and expand upon it today. But I'm sure you, just like me, had plenty of notes from the weekend, because it was just phenomenal. And it was exactly what we needed to just ignite that fire, just reconnect, ignite that fire, get us excited again. I mean, that's exactly what those events are for. And it's exactly what it did for me. And I hope it did the same for you. I mean, I'm like, game on, I'm ready to go, right? So, and, you know, at the end of the event, Mr. Provenzano always talks about how effective and powerful we are within the next 72 hours. And we are still within that time frame where our confidence is at an all-time high, our courage is at an all-time high. So we should really take advantage of this time. And hopefully this call will just even add to that and give you more motivation and encouragement to just take all out massive action so that, you know, we can continue to grow our ACN businesses. So before I get into my message today, I just want to tell you a little bit about me. I'm no stranger to this call. I've done this call a few times, so I'm sure some of you have probably heard my story. But for those who haven't, I will tell you again. So I'm Angela Solomon. As Mr. Thomas indicated, I've been in ACN for, I don't know, is it 25 years? At least 25 years. I lose count. I've grown up in ACN. I always say my husband and I, we met at an ACN business opportunity meeting, and I really grew up in ACN. But before I even knew about being an entrepreneur or knew about ACN, I grew up probably like a lot of you. My parents told me to go to school and get good grades, and that's what I did. So went to school, got good grades, went to college, got a degree from University of Michigan. And then I worked for a while for a Fortune 500 company in Minneapolis, and decided I wanted to get an advanced degree. So I decided to go to law school. So I went to law school here in Washington, D.C., at George Washington University in Washington, D.C., got my law degree. And I started practicing law, and I realized, at this time I had one son, and I realized that I was spending more time with the people at work than the people I really loved at home. And by this time I met Oren, and he was building our ACN business while I was working at the law firm. And it had got to a point where, you know, our residual income was surpassing what I was making at my job. So I was like, you know what? I had a small child, and I was like, you know, thank God you were building the business while I was working. And I really like to just come home and help you build the business and spend more time with our son. So because of the system of ACN, because of the residual income that he had built over the years, he was like, okay, come home, let's do it. We'll work together and build a business. And, so that day I said goodbye to my law career. And that was in 2001. So that's been 20 years. So 20 years I have been at home, have raised my three sons. They're all in college now, which I'm very, very happy for them. They're all in different cities. College is out of state. And I always say that of all the things I've done, my children are my number one thing that I've done, but my whole life, my adult life has been powered by ACN. Like every single thing I've done has been powered from the income that we earn in ACN. And ACN is not just reserved for me and my family or Mr. Thomas and his family. ACN is for all of us. Because you heard about ACN, ACN is a complete blessing. It's a complete game changer. And because you know about ACN, you have the opportunity for your life to be powered by ACN as well. I always say, like, my kids, I have three sons. I have a senior and two sophomores, and they're all in colleges out of state. We don't get any financial aid. And that's such a blessing. ACN is such a blessing because, I remember when I was thinking about going to college, just because, I come from, a neighborhood where we had a bullet coming, a drive-by shooting on my street, and just not the best of circumstances. But my mother made a decision to go to medical school and get more education so that she could expand the possibilities for me, because we all want the best for our children. And so that's what happened. And so I just feel so blessed and so grateful that whenever, whatever schools my children chose to go to, they were able to attend because of ACN. It's because of ACN. And I can't even say enough about how just grateful and blessed a blessing ACN is. And because about ACN, everybody doesn't know about ACN. Like, we think everybody knows about ACN, but everybody doesn't know about ACN. So we have an opportunity and an obligation to share this opportunity with so many people, with other people, because that's really the come from that I come from when I talk about the business, because I know how much of a blessing it is and has been for me and my family, Mr. Thomas and his family, so many others and their families. So I don't come from, like I'm bugging somebody. I really come from, when I share the business, that I'm really coming with a pure heart to help people, because this business is really a blessing. But that's not even the message I wanted to share with you today. I just, kind of went on that tangent because I'm just so excited. I'm so excited about the event. It's really, really game on. The message that I want to share with you today is, I took it from Adam Root, Regional Vice President Platinum Adam Root, talked about walk, run, and sprint. Anybody remember that? Okay. Catherine, Pat, I see people shaking their heads. Jamar, Julian, RD Luann, my soror Sharian. I see everybody. Yeah. So that message, that's one of the messages. I mean, I have other messages that I was like, wow, but I really want to take the walk, run, sprint idea and kind of just share that message with you today, just kind of expand on it. So when I think about walk, run, sprint, I mean, he was talking about, kind of moving fast in the business, but when I think about ACN really is not a get rich quick scheme, right? It is something that you need patience, you need perseverance. I mean, it's going to take a while to build that juicy, meaty residual income, right? But there are, and we live in an instant society, so it really is a challenge. Like, even though we know food tastes so much better when we warm it up on the stove, we put it in the microwave, right? Even though it tastes better on the stove, right? When you warm it up on the stove or in the oven, it's so much better, but we put it in the microwave because we don't have patience. We have on-demand TV, right? When we want to watch what we want to watch now. So there's on-demand TV, there's HOV lanes on the highways, you want to move fast. So we are just a society that's just addicted to speed. We want speed. We want it now. We want it fast. So a lot of times, even, instant messages, like even technology has gotten us to a place where we just don't have patience. But in ACN, it takes patience and perseverance, right? So, and a lot of people, when you get frustrated with the business, like we come off on an international like we did, you're just so excited, you're kind of on that 72-hour run. Oh my God, just like I said, when your confidence is high, your courage is high, you're ready to talk to everybody, and you definitely should. But there's going to come a point, in 30 days from now that, after all of that kind of excitement wears down, you may start to look around and you may get frustrated. And what happens is people sometimes decide to quit. And that's not the thing to do, because I know so many people that bounce around, They were in ACN and they were in this company. They were in this company. They were in they just bounce around. And so in that way, you really don't build your credibility with your one company. You build your credibility as a person who bounces around. And what happens is so often that people bounce right back to ACN. Mr. Thomas, have you, I know you've seen that happen too, right? Where you see people that have been to this company, let ACN, been to this company, that Sam, you know what I'm talking about, right? They come back with war stories about other places they went, and they realized that they had the best thing right in their hands right here in ACN, right? So you don't want to be that person that bounces around. You want to have persistence and you want to have perseverance. And so my message today, I hope, is going to help you, stay motivated and encouraged, and help you actually not walk, not run, but actually sprint with your ACN business. There's some things that you can do to help your business grow faster, to help you get to the points in ACN where you want to be. So we're going to talk about that today. So I think about one recent thing happened. I was working with a group that was out of town. So I live in Maryland, and I was working with a group that was, in another state. I'm not going to say where it is to keep their confidentiality, because I know you record these calls and I don't know where they wind up. So I don't want to call them out. But I was working with the group and they came off a national like we just had, right? And like I said, your confidence is the highest, your courage is the highest. I mean, you are really on cloud nine, and you are radiating the ACN excitement. And so it's going to be easy. You're going to be magnetic, really, So you're going to be magnetic. So you are magnetic right now. And so that's what happened. So one of the leaders there, she was magnetic. Her group took off. She had explosive growth right after the national. Then a month later, the growth kind of slowed down. And she called and she was complaining, and she said, Angela, I don't live in a place like Maryland. Like, people here, they don't have money. People here aren't looking for opportunities like they are where you live. I mean, that's the challenge I'm having. People here, they tell me they just don't have money, and they're not looking for any business opportunities. So I'm not living in a place where I can really grow this business. And so I said to myself, I'm like, there are people that have money to invest and are looking for opportunities all over the world. So what I told her, I'm like, can I be honest with you? Can I just, speak straight to you? And she's like, yes. I was like, well, I think that the problem is there are people in your area that have money and that are looking for opportunities, but you just don't know them. The issue is with your network of people. It's not that people around you don't have money. People in your area don't have money or aren't looking for opportunities. You just don't know them. So you have to make it your business to expand your network, right? As they say, your network, or your network is your net worth. And that is true. Now, when I was growing up, like I said, my parents, my family, we didn't know anybody influential, right? We didn't know that, your network is your net worth. But as my mother became the game changer in the family, she went to medical school, that expanded my possibilities. And now I realize that is really how business is done. And so there are things that we can do to fix our network, to expand our network, and to grow our network. But let me tell you one other quick story about just the importance of expanding your network. So my son, when he was in high school, his high school had a policy of every year, they wanted the kids to get work experience, to be able to start building their resume before they graduated from high school. And so every year he had to have an internship, like a 2-week internship. So it was like maybe in the springtime. So when I found this out, I'm like, okay, so my next door neighbor at the time was a judge. So I called her and said, hey, can Jordan come and intern with you, for 2 weeks? And she said, yeah. So Jordan had an internship at the courthouse with the judge. And so the next year, I'm like, okay, it's internship time. I have a friend who was she worked at one of the largest commercial real estate firms. They manage a lot of properties in the area. So I called her. I knew her from a mom's group. So I called her and I said, hey, can Jordan do his internship at your company for 2 weeks? Okay, sure. So that was sophomore year. The third year, it was internship time. I had a really good relationship with the principal of one of the schools that my kids had attended. So I called her up. I'm like, hey, can Jordan come and be your assistant and work in your, office and, kind of shadow you for 2 weeks for his internship? She's like, okay, sure. So the fourth year comes around. the school, the internship coordinator gives me a call on the phone. And I'm like, why is the school calling? You know, anytime parents get calls from schools, we're like, what is the deal? Why are they calling me? So you know what I'm talking about, Luann, right? We don't want calls from the school. We just, the blood pressure immediately goes sky high. We're like, what is going on? Why is this person calling me? Right, Jamar? Exactly, right? So anyway, I answer the phone and it's the internship coordinator. And she says, Mrs. Solomon, she said, I was thinking, how about for Jordan's last year, you let Jordan secure his own internship? So what was happening, like he had amazing internships the whole time because of my network of people who I knew, just able to call on the phone and say, hey, you know, can my son do this? And so she wanted Jordan to do his own. I guess she thought I was taking away a valuable learning experience for Jordan for not being able to call his own internship and get his own internship. But guess what? I thought that I was teaching Jordan a valuable lesson of leveraging the people who he knows and his network, just showing him the value of having a phenomenal network of people to call to help you. I mean, this is really how business is done, right? So that's that story. But the thing is, like I said, if recruiting has been a challenge for you, then this is something that you could maybe consider. Maybe try to, like Mr. Provenzano says, if you can't change your friends, change your friends. So it's one of my favorite Greg Provenzano quotes. And it's so true because they say that you are the sum of the 5 people that you spend most of the time with. And so if you are the best person in your circle, like you need a new circle. And the thing that's so great about this is being able to expand your network is that it's completely in your control. Because like attracts like, right? So if you want to attract and recruit better people, then you can become a better person. And you can do that through personal development. You could just do that by just associating with some new people, going to some new places, and networking into some new groups. I think all of that is very key to helping you sprint with your ACN business, because what you want to do is when you expand your network, you can be able to recruit more business owners. You can recruit more real estate professionals who, you know, for ACN when they see ACN, it's a no-brainer because it's a way to add additional residual income to stuff that they're already doing, right? You can recruit people of influence when you know more people of influence, right? You can even find out who they know. So it really is just a way to sprint with your ACN business. And I always say, like, do you think you're going to meet more business owners and influential people at Applebee's or at the country club? And I can say, like, I just started playing golf. And so I'm playing golf, you know, I won a trophy. I was like, wow, you know, I'm pretty good. I'm learning the game, but you know, I won a trophy last week for longest drive for women. So I was able to hit it. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this thing. But anyway, the reason why I bring up golf is that the people that I meet when I play golf are business owners. And why is that? Because business owners have time during the day. They have time during the day to come out and play golf. And also business owners can define what work is. So even though, you know, you may think that business owners are taking a day off on the golf course, no, that's business for them. They're out there having conversations, building relationships, building rapport with people to do business deals in the future. Right. So I'm just saying, like, when you expand your network, you just open yourself to so many possibilities, and you're able to not walk with your ACN business, not run with your ACN business, but sprint with your ACN business, being able to recruit better people with network marketing experience prior, people that are business owners who already know, you know, the value and can see ACN right away, not anybody that you have to convince. Now, I will say, when you are expanding your network and you want to move into new groups and new people, I wouldn't necessarily, you know, as soon as I get somebody's name, just jump into the 1 through 10, right? You don't want to do that. You want to just take your time, get to know them, let them get to know you, you know, kind of build trust, build rapport, because when people trust you, they'll introduce you to more people. And that's what you really want. It's just a continual just building of your network, just expanding your network and who you know. And I will say, even if you meet somebody and you build the rapport and you have the trust and you decide that it's time to present with the ACN opportunity, if they don't say yes right away, don't give up. I always tell the story that it took 8 phone calls to me from the person who recruited me in ACN. He had to call me 8 times at my desk. First, I was busy, not interested. I mean, I had a bunch of excuses, had to work, all the excuses that we all hear when we're building a business. But he did not give up on me. It was the 8th time that he called me that I said, you know what, let me go and see what this guy is calling me about, because he won't stop calling. So I actually went to the BOM after the 8th phone call. So that is an inspiration. I hope that's a motivation and encouragement to you to just follow up, keep your list. When people say no, don't throw them away. Put them aside. And so you can go back to them, because timing is everything in the business. Timing is everything. It may not be a right time today. It may be a right time next month. Something could have happened that made them reconsider their income options and ways to make money. Something could have happened. Well, they need to generate a second income or a third income. You never know. So you just don't want to throw people away. You want to make sure you follow up. So the big takeaway that I have for you today is to just expand your center of influence. And when I say, and when you're thinking about all the people, like, people that have been in network marketing previously, people who are business owners, people who, are good people, right? Good people know other good people. Cause like I said, like attracts like your people kind of gather with people who have at least, one or more things in common. So if you meet a nice person, a happy person, they'll know other people like that. So that's also a good way to expand your network. And so, like I said, the takeaway today is just to expand your network. If you want to attract better people, jump into your personal development. Start, reading those Jim Rohn books, those John Maxwell books, other things to kind of just enhance your mind, expand your possibilities, and have more conversation. Be a nice person, be a happy person. You'll attract that. This business can be so easy. They say it's simple, but it's not easy. But you can make it so much more easy by just having the right people in your network. And the people who are in your network today, we don't want to throw them away either. But if you are the best person in your circle, expand your circle, right? You'll start to meet other people, attract people that can help you. And whether they get an ACN or not, they know people who will be interested in ACN. So you just always want to constantly be recruiting, be expanding your network, and you watch your business grow. So I just want to thank you for having me today. That's my message for you, just to kind of expound on the wonderful, exciting weekend that we had with Game On. And I hope to see you all really soon. Thank you, Mr. Thomas.